doing more alternative redstone stuff for our skyblock world and just have this simple little contraption. And right now it's more or less set up as a clock. So if we build a little, basic memory latch here, what'll happen is our boat, when it gets to either end, will change the direction of water flow. So right now the boat's heading back towards this end. But when it does get to this end, we'll just simulate it. Activates that pressure plate, the water will change direction, the boat will move back over this way. Moves super slow because it's on honey. And right now it's time, the clock's time is actually about pi, so it's 3 minutes 14 point something seconds. And okay, it's a nifty, weird clock thing. But I have another idea for this that I haven't fleshed out, and it's to do old school analog calculus computation in Minecraft. So people have done analog computers in Minecraft using the signal strength of a redstone line, and it's kind of analog. It's kind of not. You can do it with comparators pretty easy, but it's technically digital with 16 digits. It's not really fully continuous analog. And technically nothing is continuous analog in Minecraft because it's being, played on a digital computer. But I figure the position of an entity in the physical world in Minecraft is about as close as we can get to something that's truly analog. And so, for instance, this thing right here, yeah, it works as a clock, but you could actually use this as a binary to analog to binary integrator. So, for instance, we just set up a little input here. So imagine this torch is some kind of input signal. When it's on, the boat moves right. When it's off, the boat moves left. That means, say, if you start the boat in the middle, the boat's position would be the value of the integral of the incoming function over time. And this is exactly how early mechanical integrators worked. So I've been thinking about how you could make an analog mechanical differential engine and a bunch of stuff like that in the game, because I think that'd be super cool. Right now, this is all we got, so this is still not even that good. This is, binary input to analog integral with a high resolution digital readout. So not exactly what we want. What would be perfect is if, you could have a setup with multiple of these kind of analog memory cells, where obviously they don't have to be this long, it could just be one segment, but I wanted to toy around with tiling it. If you could have two of these things where the speed of the movement of the boat in one was determined by the position of the boat in the other, so not just the direction, but the speed itself, that would actually give us whole calculus integration, real number, continuous spectrum computation abilities. But for right now, this is what I got, and it's what I wanted to show you guys. The reason, and then it's not actually even needed to make this, but it's a kind of useful thing, which is that a boat will not fit under a half block gap on a solid block, but because it sinks down on honey, you can fit it under a half block gap, which kind of makes it easier to set this thing up and keep it stable if you can just hook one end of the boat underneath the edge of blocks. I don't even think we're doing that right now. Yeah, and the gap, this is also kind of neat, is that the gap between a full block and fence post is almost exactly the width of a boat in Minecraft. Also, you can get into the boat while this thing is running. It kicks you out, though.